What if I told you that you're a badass and that I could prove it to you? Now, I know that might sound bold, even a bit audacious, but bear with me here. By the end of our time together, I am going to prove that statement to you. And also, I'm going to prove that you have you have extraordinary capability within you. And it's just about tapping into that. Every single person in this room has a reservoir of power, of a force of will, sheer determination. And once recognized, that can turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. So go with me on this journey today and learn how to tap into that badass that's inside you. Now, before we get all into everything about being a badass, you probably want to know if it's something that you want to be, right? So this outside world will tell you that a badass is about being tough. It's about being hard or a six-figure earner, maybe even being Instagram famous. But in my world, a badass is about confidence, and it's about mindset. It's an inner game. So why is this important to me? Years ago, I joined law enforcement, and I completely lost all of my confidence. I started comparing myself to all of my coworkers, and I compared my abilities to their abilities, and I just got in my head. Now, I felt like such a fraud because everybody else, they would look at me, my friends and family, and be like, oh my gosh, you're such a badass. But I did not feel like one. So the strangest thing got me to change my mind. It was paying off debt. I didn't just pay off $10,000 of debt or $20,000, but I paid off $106,000 in debt in just under 2 years. Thank you. This completely changed my life. Because you know what? In that 2 years, I made a ton of mistakes. But here's the thing. You can make the mistake. That's fine. It's not about the mistake. That's part of life. It's, are you going to let that mistake take you down? Are you going to get back up and keep going towards your goal? That's what a badass would do, right? So, after that, I learned a badass. It's not about a leather jacket or a motorcycle or a gun or a cigarette. No object makes you a badass. It's an inside job. It's confidence and it's mindset. So, I would like you to take a second and picture yourself standing in front of the mirror and just recognizing the remarkable truth of the badass that you are, all of the strength that you have inside of you. And any self-doubt, any self-criticism, let that wash away. Just own the truth of who you are. So we've handed out a paper to you. It's a poster of power. We're not going to do the poster today, but you can write down, if you have pen, write down on the back of that paper your answers, and then later you can put it on a poster, like a visualization of the things that you write down, and that's a symbol of your badassery. So every day, when you're going about your day, or when you have doubt creep in, you can look at either what you write down or look at the poster of power and have it remind you of the badass that you are. So I want you to take a look at that paper and write down any challenges that you have faced to get to where you are today. What hard things have you been through? I don't care if it was 20 years ago. Anything that comes to mind, you write it down. How about accomplishments or achievements that you've done? I don't care how big or how small, everything counts here. Maybe you pushed your comfort zone. You did something that you didn't know you could do. That counts. My friend Mike Bechtel, he says you don't have to run and leap over your comfort zone. You just have to put your toe over the edge. So even if you put your toe over the edge, that's badass. Write that down. Put that on your poster of power. Okay, so how about adversities? What about the hardships you faced? Those count too. Write those down. Maybe you had a death in the family, or you got a divorce. You have a child with special needs, or you're a single parent. All of those things take grit to get through. Those things make you a badass. So, as you leave here today, my challenge to each and every one of you is to go home and find a token of your badassery. Find something that you wrote down and go find something that's a symbol of that and take a picture of it. Throw it on Instagram, throw it on Facebook, tag me at Ordinary to Badass, but these things matter. Because you know what? Doubt is gonna seep in. We're gonna have those hard days, right? And so we need something. We need a token to remind us of our badassery. Now, say you had a loved one die and their favorite color was yellow. Find something yellow that reminds you of them. And for me, it was this little old rock. I got this rock climbing Chelan Butte. Now, I was in the worst shape of my life when I did it, but when I got to the top, it felt epic. And so I took a little rock to remind me of what I had accomplished. And so now, when I have hard times, when I go through these hard things, I look at this rock. Like, oh, I've been through hard things before. I can get through this now. And the other thing it does, when I'm going for a goal, trying to accomplish something, then I can think how amazing I felt at the top of that mountain, how my confidence felt, just how everything felt free. And I can do the same thing for the goal I'm going now. I can imagine myself feeling amazing at the end of it, just like I did when I climbed that mountain. You can do the same thing. So I challenge you to find a token of your badassery so it can remind you every single day. As you step out into this world, know that you are stronger, more capable, more powerful, more extraordinary than you ever knew you were, than you ever believed. Take that with you. The world needs what you have to offer. So I ask you, are you brave enough to call yourself a badass? Thank you.